Exploring Tartarus. Secrets of the Dark Abyss in Greek mythology. The chains were still warm. Deep beneath the world, below the roots of mountains, below the dead, something screamed, and the sound never escaped. This was not hell. This was older, darker. A pit so feared that even the gods lowered their voices when its name was spoken. Tartarus, not a place for the dead, but a prison for monsters. A cosmic abyss, where titans were crushed under eternal darkness, where time itself seemed to rot, and where Zeus hid what he never wanted the world to see. Because Tartarus wasn't just punishment, it was a warning. In Greek mythology, Tartarus existed before the Olympian gods, before Zeus, before Olympus had a throne. Ancient poets described it as a void, as far beneath Hades, as the sky is above the earth, a distance so vast that an anvil would fall for 9 days and 9 nights before reaching the bottom. This wasn't poetic exaggeration. It was mythological geography. While Hades ruled the realm of the dead, Tartarus existed below him, deeper, more final. A place not governed by mercy, judgment, or redemption, only containment. Here, Zeus imprisoned the Titans after the Titanomachy, the war that decided the fate of the universe. Cronus, Atlas, and the ancient forces who once ruled reality itself were chained in Tartarus, guarded by the Hecatoncheires giants, with 100 hands and 50 heads, so terrifying that even the Olympians refused to approach them. Why such extreme security? Because Tartarus was not meant to punish. It was meant to seal away power. Ancient Greeks believed some forces were too dangerous to destroy. Instead, they were buried locked beneath layers of darkness and divine law. Tartarus became the ultimate vault for cosmic threats. And it wasn't empty. Typhon, the father of monsters, a storm incarnate with fire in his eyes and serpents for legs, was thrown into Tartarus after nearly killing Zeus himself. Even victory terrified the gods. If Typhon ever escaped, the universe would end. So Zeus didn't erase him. He buried him. This pattern appears again and again in ancient myths. The fear of ancient power returning. But Tartarus wasn't just a physical place. It was personified. Tartarus was a primordial deity, an embodiment of the abyss itself, a conscious darkness. In some myths, Tartarus even fathered monsters with Gaia, the earth, the abyss creating horrors from within the planet itself. That detail matters, because it reveals something unsettling about ancient belief. Evil didn't come from outside the world. It came from below it, from hidden depths, from things humanity was never meant to uncover. And this fear shaped Greek morality. Mortal criminals who offended the gods, those who defied divine order, were sometimes cast into Tartarus as well. Tantalus, eternally starving and thirsty. Sisyphus, condemned to push a boulder uphill forever. Ixion, bound to a burning wheel. Endless punishment, no release. Tartarus represented what happens when power challenges authority. And that idea didn't stay in Greece. It spread. Later civilizations absorbed this concept. The abyss, the eternal prison, the hidden threat beneath the world. You can trace Tartarus's shadow through Roman mythology, early Christian hell imagery, and even modern depictions of cosmic horror. But here's the real mystery. If Tartarus was so feared, so central, why did its meaning change? Over time, Tartarus faded from a cosmic prison into a moral one. The Titans became villains instead of former rulers. Zeus became justice instead of conquest. History was rewritten by the victors, and that raises an uncomfortable question. Was Tartarus truly evil? Or was it propaganda created to justify overthrowing an older order? Ancient myths often preserve political truth beneath supernatural language. A defeated dynasty becomes monsters, A prison becomes the abyss. A revolution becomes divine justice. Tartarus may not represent damnation. It may represent suppression. A place where inconvenient power is buried and forgotten. A place history doesn't want reopened. And this is where forgotten empires lives, between myth and memory. Between what we're told and what was erased. Because Tartarus isn't just a Greek story. It's a pattern. Tartarus shows us how ancient civilizations dealt with dangerous power, not by destroying it, but by hiding it beneath layers of myth, fear, and silence. The abyss wasn't about punishment. It was about control. But that leads to a question this story can't answer. What happens when power isn't buried, but rewritten? What happens when history tries to erase a ruler, not by chaining them in darkness, but by reshaping how the world remembers them? Because in ancient Egypt, there was a ruler whose power terrified tradition itself. A woman who ruled like a king. A pharaoh so successful that later generations tried to erase her name from stone. But to understand the full picture, we have to look at insights into Pharaoh Hatshepsut, 7 striking facts about Egypt's most powerful female ruler. I'm releasing that investigation next week. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the truth. The abyss hides monsters. History hides something far more dangerous. Truth.